I suppose we're all here, so we can begin. We do apologize for starting slightly late, but we begin nonetheless. Now, Group Chief Executive Officer and Group Managing Director, Mr. James Wangi, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, board members and staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. How are you doing this lovely morning? Yeah, we've had breakfast. We're going to be slightly livelier than that. Good morning. Fantastic. There we go. It's good to be here. Very, very happy to be with you. And I see some faces good friends from the financial institution. But it's very hard to have chit-chat with financial friends, eh? Because as soon as you start talking to them, in 2 seconds, they want to send you solutions for your home, for your school fees, for everything in between. But nonetheless, this is why we're here. Because life is becoming faster and more expensive, and we find solutions to all this and more. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about FinServe today, and I am glad to welcome on stage to unveil another new innovation and a first in Kenya as well. Ladies and gentlemen, FinServe Managing Director, Jack Ngare.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Before I start, I just want to quickly appreciate a few individuals who have come. I see Aldo, MD of Telkom Kenya. I see Jack Miner, CEO of Britam. I see Paul, CEO InterSwitch. So, and many others. I see Ope here, Eddie. So thank you all for coming. And it's a really great honor to see all of you here. I'll just quickly start off with describing MKey, which is what we are here to do. So 2 weeks ago, we launched FinServe. And many of you were there. It comprised of two basic products, Jenga API and Jenga Payment Gateway. Because FinServe believes in financial services that can actually be made simpler and easier for businesses. And the second message we passed during that launch was that, regardless of your geography in East and Central Africa, we want to expand your business with you. So as businesses in Kenya and throughout the region keep going on and on to other regions, then we also follow them and ensure that they get the right kinds of payment gateways that they will be able to facilitate their business. But we asked ourselves, what about the individual? We're doing all this for businesses. What about us in this room? What services can we consume directly? Or what capabilities can we show that can actually be consumed by individuals? So the first thing we told ourselves is that we do not want to build a Me Too product. There are thousands of apps out there. There are thousands of solutions out there. We didn't want to just add one more to the Play Store and hang your phone, because you've added so many apps onto your phone. So what did we do? We said, so why don't we deconstruct human beings and their social constructs and ask ourselves, what matters most to us? Well, it was really a soul-searching moment. So we took a certain person, a persona, and asked ourselves, what are the things that comprise a human being? And we came up with things such as, they have health that they want to take care of. They want to keep in touch. They have a future they worry about. Some of them want to go to school because that's a priority to them. And for others, they want to live a better lifestyle. They have work to go to. And in some cases, for this gentleman here, he has a wife. And when you further deconstruct it, you realize our lives are made up of so many things. Just out of a few nuggets of social constructs. And so we came up with this conclusion. We discovered that our lives are not silos. The people I see in this room here, you're not a silo. You're a glorious, confusing, wonderful paradox of chaos and order. It's difficult to understand, because the same guy who's, let's say, an accountant at the office is the same guy who's a CEO at home. He's the same guy who has to go to the gym, or he has to go and do his side hustle business. So it's all confusing, it's all a paradox, but it's wonderful. So we set out to build an app that truly reflects who we are. We came up with 3 basic constructs. So out of what we discovered about human beings, we thought to ourselves, what are these 3 basic things we can build on about human beings? And so the first foundation that we built was that as individuals, we are social first. We want to communicate, we want to speak to other people in a language they understand. And true to form, right now, if you go to the Play Store or the App Store, you'll find throughout the world, the top 5 apps are most likely communication apps. Because people are innately social and want to communicate and pass their messages across to others. And so we also went and did a second analysis and came up with a second premise, that people want to prosper economically, that people want to be able to work hard and know that their work hard today counts for something tomorrow. And more importantly, is that their work hard, the work they had on today will get rewarded. So those are the basic constructs that we found at the first 2. Now remember this. The first one was that people want to communicate. The second one is that people want to prosper economically. And the final one is, as individuals, we crave convenience and a better lifestyle. You know, the famous tag right now in Kenya is Bora Uhai, right? Which means what? You know, at least my lifestyle is the way it's supposed to be. That's what it means. The so-called in pursuit of happiness. So 3 things. And it's very important that everyone remembers that. It's always about communication, it's always about social, and it's always going to be about, you know, having a better lifestyle than you have. So we came up with an app that blends social, financial, and lifestyle. And that is what we are here to launch from FinServe. Makbul.
Indeed. And I think we are ready to launch that. Are we, ladies and gentlemen, this morning? Are we ready to see? Okay, let's come back tomorrow and do this, all right? Are we ready to see this? King Kaka, are you ready? All right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this together. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Makofi tafadhali. There you have it, MKey. It's all about making life more accessible, flexible, and affordable as well. And for the first time in Kenya, but we get to find out what it's all about. Thank you so very much. Now, just My teacher used to say, if you want to know someone has been listening, you ask them a question. And I want to find out, there were 3 pillars that were being discussed earlier on by Jack. Let's just see if people can remember him. What are the 3 individual pillars that people look forward to?
Social, financial, lifestyle.
The guy who used to sit in front of class, showing off over here. King Kaka. A round of applause for one of Kenya's greatest talents. King Kaka is in the house. 3 pillars. Why so important? Which ones are they, if you've heard?
Social, financial, lifestyle.
Hey, Kwanzaa with finesse. A round of applause, King Kaka. We've heard about it. We've heard about the pillars. But let's just find out how it works. So one more time, a round of applause for FinServe Managing Director, Mr. Jack Ngare on stage.
Thank you, Makbul. So, looking at it from a perspective of social, financial, and lifestyle, we came up with the app and we said, number 1, it's a digital bank. So to be able to address your financial aspect. And then number 2, it's a social network. And number 3, a lifestyle. So everything we built around this app was geared towards those 3 things. The fact that you're digital, you want a digital bank, you don't want to go to a brick and mortar installation, you want a social network, so you can be able to interact with your friends on a local basis. And finally, you can actually improve your lifestyle on our app. But let's quickly talk about a main problem that that faces lots of apps out there. We wanted to solve some basic user challenges. Let's take an example. Picture this with me. So this is a conversation I was having last weekend. So Jimmy asked me to send him some money. And I asked him, how much is it? And he told me 13,676, right? What would you typically do in this case? You would have to go to your phone and then log into your banking app or whatever app you have for mobile money and then enter the amount. Now, for those of you who can see what I've done right there, notice I've switched the figures. Instead of it being 13,676, I put 767. It happens to all of us, isn't it? Reversals on mobile money, putting the wrong amounts, it happens all the time. So Jimmy came back and said, wow, thanks for the tip, because I added 100 shillings or so to him. And that's me cussing, but I couldn't put it on the screen though, because that's not my intention. I don't particularly like Jimmy. So, I wasn't going to give him extra money. But, that's a user challenge we all face, that you want to communicate, but at the same time, you have to log into several different apps to be able to achieve one goal that you want to do. At the same time, we all use Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Outlook, whatever you use to communicate. Unfortunately, social media is social, but it's not sociable. Picture this. You want to save a certain image you saw on Instagram, and you want to push it to someone on, let's say, WhatsApp. What would you typically do? You'd either, if you can download it, most likely you probably couldn't, but if you ever did, you'll save it to your gallery, and then you will log out of Instagram, and then go to WhatsApp, and then upload it. Typical user journey. Very clunky, because these systems do not talk to each other. No way. They're individual, they're built in silos. That is why we say social media is social, but it's not sociable, because it creates a user challenge right there. So it's always difficult to send this data across all these social media platforms. But let's think about it. And this is a quiz. The first person who gets this right will get absolutely nothing. What do they have in common? Can anyone spot what they have in common? Apart from the FinServe team, don't answer this question because you've seen the presentation. Jack Minor, Britam. Who can spot anything that they have in common? Keyboard. They all have a keyboard. So when we looked at it, we were like, hey, wait a minute. WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Twitter, Outlook all have a keyboard. So then it struck us. Why not build an app and build a keyboard? Build an app and build a keyboard. In case you didn't hear me the first 2 times, build an app and build a keyboard. And that is what MKey is all about. We built an app and we also built a keyboard for it. Now, the keyboard is not for the app. The keyboard takes over your whole phone. And it brings all these platforms to your phone. In a short while, I'll demonstrate a few examples of how we've built this. So, let's pop under the hood and see how the keyboard works, as well as the app. You guys could have clapped that point. Makbul, you're not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's go through it. So, to get started with the app, you can either log in using Facebook and Google. So we got rid of all the other, deep KYC things, at least for your social media platform. So you can be able to easily register using Google or Facebook. Let's take a look at how. So you log onto your phone and you fire up MKey. MKey automatically starts loading many of the services that are already available, and you can already start selecting which profile you want to use. So for this particular person, obviously they're predisposed to Google, so they'll use the Google profile. And so you go in, and just the standard way of logging into Google systems, you put in your Gmail address or your Google ID, and then you go ahead and then you put in your password. Now, this is not a password that we keep, it's a password that you're logging into your profile on Google. So all they do is just authenticate the app. All your data still resides where it's supposed to reside. We just get permission to allow you to log into our system. No different than what other social media tools would do. And then one last step is that you put in your mobile number so that we can actually authenticate you, and then that's it. You're good to go. But how easy is it to set up your keyboard? So as you can see, it's all press a button and you're good to go. So this person selected the keyboard. He selected the option of MKey keyboard. You can't miss it because we've put love hearts there because we hope you love it. And so you keep going and select, start exploring. So immediately, you notice your keyboard already looks different. It has 3 buttons at the top. And then once you're done with that, in terms of already setting up your keyboard, it takes you to the home screen of the app. And as simple as that, I think that took me how many seconds? Maybe about 15 seconds or so, or 30 seconds to set up. Your keyboard is installed, your app is active. It's as simple as that. So once you've set up your social profile, so we typically call that just a social profile. In terms of saying you can now access your keyboard, you can see what's happening around it, but you may want to also set up your MKey account. Why would you want to set up your MKey account? Because the MKey account comes bundled with all the financial services you'll get from anywhere else and more. So you have sent to bank, you have sent to mobile wallets, you have buy airtime, you have get a loan. So it has all the financial services you'd ever want. Remember, our pillar, financial services. So it has taken all those capabilities at the back end and presented them in a very user-friendly interface from the beginning. But let's take a look at how you can actually set up your MKey account. So you have 3 options. You can either use your national ID, your passport, or your alien ID. And once you do that, it asks you to enter your details in terms of your number. You can see this person actually used their passport to configure it. And then you can go ahead and put in your date of birth and confirm your email address based on what you had before. And then, of course, just to make sure we are GDPR compliant, you have to accept. GDPR is this new law, especially in the EU, that talks about data privacy. So we're already ready. And once you've done all that, it's as simple as that. You have created yourselves an MKey account. You do not have to be you do not have to be a previous customer for any bank or for any mobile wallet service. You do not have to be. It is open. You can create it on your own. And it's as simple as that. Again, that took me less than 1 minute to set up. So it is as simple as that. Everything is online, real-time, and digital. You do not have to do anything else. So once you have set up your account, you see a very interesting screen. It looks very different from what you're familiar with. Those of you who play games probably have seen this screen sort of before on 2 dots or Candy Crush. So again, let's face it. Financial services sometimes tend to be very boring. You go, you check your balance, and then sometimes you get depressed, sometimes you're happy. Many times you're depressed. And then you just check your statement, and then you do your transaction. That is excellent. It's supposed to be doing exactly that. It's a utility. But we said, look, financial services can actually be made a bit more interesting. Why not build a way or a chart or some sort of function to make it an interesting journey? Because financial services are a journey. You're saving towards certain goals. You are trying to achieve certain objectives. So we did exactly that for you. Now, if you look at your MKey account, it charts your way to financial freedom. And we usually call this the antithesis of betting and charges. So we try to reward you for every single transaction you do. So let's take a look at it. Alex, next slide. Okay, thank you. Sorry, last time when we launched FinServe, Alex was our AI. So that was because it was Equity Group. For the AI for FinServe is called Anne. So Anne, please. Thank you. Okay. So if you look at this slide, you can see it has a journey. So and you keep going, and when you get to a certain point, you actually have a level that you complete. What does this all mean? As you continue through your journey of financial services, each time you do a transaction, we reward you a star. Why? Because you're actually doing prudent financial management, and as you keep going up, we have a reward for you. So each level you complete, there's a reward. We don't just take and hit you with charges. Not charges. Every single thing you put back, we actually reward you straight away. So if you look at the app, as I mentioned earlier, you have send to mobile. You have send to bank. You have send to social media. So if you want to send money to your WhatsApp contacts, you want to send money to your Twitter contacts, your Instagram contacts, it's available. You have pay bills. You want to do your KPLC, your DSTV, etc. You want to pay loans, so you have a loan with us. You can actually do so. Buy airtime. We have buy goods. We have integrated this to EasyPay, so you have at least 38,000 merchants you can actually make your payments to. So you can imagine that whole journey setting up within a couple of minutes, and then instantly you have access to all these financial services from the get-go. Not only do you have that, but we also tell you we have built a path for you. So as you keep doing transactions, you're earning stars, you're going up the levels. We keep rewarding you. So that is the journey we have built for you in terms of making financial services a little bit more interesting for you. So let's take a typical example where you want to move money to your MKey account. So many of you are probably familiar with this route, and this is not the only option that's available. Sending in via, for example, Safaricom M-Pesa. You can also send money in through agent deposits. You can send via easy banking, via Equitel, which is under FinServe. But this is a typical journey that a customer would use. And I don't need to go through it because you guys probably are familiar with this. But however, notice the account number is actually the mobile number you use to register. So there's no other mapping that we do. We don't go to the back end and create a separate 13-digit account number. Your mobile is your account number. And so you can select, how much you're going to put into your mobile wallet. And once you're done with that, it will come back and confirm, would you like to pay into that particular account? And once you do so, M-Pesa says, okay, great, thank you. Services have been provided. And immediately you get your SMSs that confirms that actually a transaction has come. Now, if you look at the MKey SMS, you get it there. It says, cha-ching, I hope I got that right. Someone's account has gotten greener. So just the whole experience of ensuring that we're using language that we can all relate to. It's not necessarily that we're using, bank speak or financial service speak. We're talking to everyday language that you can understand as a consumer of the service. So once you're done with that, again, within just a few minutes, you have actually funded your MKey account. Let me repeat that. You can use any mobile wallet. You can use Equitel as well, and you can use agent deposits to actually fund this particular account. So, as I mentioned earlier, MKey has a lot of transaction options because we made sure that we integrate to as many payment capabilities as we can. So let's take a typical journey of a customer. So you log in, and this is Marvin. So Marvin registered and now logged into the app. And you can see, from the background, you can see Marvin has actually done a couple of transactions and has even earned a couple of rewards. But so Marvin goes and selects the option to make the payments. And once he selects those options, he then now selects send to mobile money. So immediately once he selects mobile money, you can see the options that are currently available. So you can have MKey, Equitel, M-Pesa, Airtel, and Tcash as well. And once you're done with that, he can then go ahead and select from his contacts. So immediately it reads nothing special about this. It immediately reads his contact list, and he can actually select a contact off his contact list. If that person does not exist, then he can actually put a mobile number in, and it moves on to the next stage where he enters the amount for the transaction. And then once he has entered the amount for the transaction, it comes in with a confirmation screen. And this confirmation screen basically just tells him, this is how much we are going to charge you, and then this is what your new balance looks like. So the deep integration to all the services that are available, you can see it right there. It's very easy and intuitive. And again, we don't tell you success, or something like that. All of us know hapo sawa. Very intuitive. That is what we use. And that is it. The transaction is done. It is, like I always say, we always have things that we call smartphone apps. But rarely do you see a smart app for phones. So I thought I should throw that on in. But anyway, let's keep going. So we're talking about now MKey account levels and rewards. Remember, previously I mentioned to you that you actually have the capability of earning rewards on MKey. So look at Marvin. Marvin has done a couple of transactions, and you can see as you scroll down, you can see how many levels he is in. I think he's in level 48 or something on those lines. And every single step where he has earned a star, we throw back to him rewards. It could be airtime. It could be a cashback into your account straight away. It could be anything. So we actually ensure that we give you something back. And at the same time, each level has a surprise gift. So when you complete the individual star levels, then we actually get a surprise gift worth of your reward. And if you go in, you can actually see that, for example, this person got 500 shillings worth of 50 shillings worth of airtime. So, and that's just about it. Immediately once you do that, you can go and claim it, and you can select anybody who you want to receive that particular reward. Okay? I think, Anne, we can go to the next slide. Anne AI. Fantastic service, second. Okay, so you actually saw how simple it is to plot through the journey of financial freedom. You're able to go up the ladder and get rewards. But let's talk about MKey loans, because that's the deposit side of your business, and then you have the loan side of getting money. Now, just to be clear, MKey loans is for anyone and everyone. When you need it most, when you need to grow. Let's talk about the loan level. So we have actually done the exact same thing that we've done for the normal accounts. You can actually go up and chart your path. And instead of giving you rewards, we actually show you the different limits you can get. So as you prudently manage your finances, as you prudently pay back your loans, immediately we start increasing your loan limit. And you can actually track it at real time. If for whatever reason you actually do not get the limit that you wanted, it gives you exactly the reason why your loan limit has either gone down or has been declined. So it is very expressive to that regard. So let's take an example of Marvin who wants to check his loan limit. And it's very simple. All you have to do is tap the check loan button. And once you do that, it goes to the back-end system and checks. So for example, Marvin had a loan of 600 shillings. And he says, okay, let me get the loan now. And as soon as he gets the loan, he says 500 shillings, and instantly it is approved. And he's able to actually get his loan within seconds. Now, just to note, we are able to disburse loans between 300 shillings equals $3, upwards to 1,000,000 shillings, with limited KYC that we picked from you from the time you're onboarding. But, the limits are great. But more importantly, we show you how to actually keep going up the ladder and get a higher loan limit, which is the most important part. Because when you get a loan, you want to get a loan either to sort out some basic need that you have, but at the same time, you want to be able to actually improve your life. So we show you and give you tips of how you can actually do so. And so once you've done with requesting your loan and you're in the process of receiving it, we actually instantly create the loan for you, and you're good to go. So, moving on. It's as simple as creating an account, funding it, making payments, and getting a loan. Between 300 shillings to 1,000,000 shillings. That is as simple as how it is to get loans off MKey. Now, all of us in this room, are actually members of a group at some point, or even right now you are. So on your WhatsApp group, some of you have chamas, some of you have, committees, maybe you have professional bodies that you are a member of in the group. So it is a social way of actually interacting with like-minded people. But at the same time, you may want to also, share in terms of contributing to money, to certain funds, to certain ideas, and to certain initiatives that you're doing. So whether you're a chama, you're in a part of a committee, a WhatsApp group, and many more, we have created a unique functionality called MKey Groups. What does MKey Groups do? So just going to the MKey Group, you can be able to create a group. And it's very easy. It's just like a WhatsApp group. You select add members. And once you create groups, you personalize it. So you can actually go and give your group a certain name. So for this guy, he called his group Wakanda, for whatever reason. And once he did that, so the group now is no longer called group 1, 2, 3. He's personalized the group. And as soon as he's done, he says, okay, now I've created the group called Wakanda. I want to invite my friends and family. And as soon as he does that, the app generates a dynamic link. This dynamic link can then be shared to all his contacts straight away. So it is really as simple as that. All you have to do is share the link on WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter, and everyone is able to receive it. Now, navigating groups is the same thing. So for all of you who are going to create groups, not to worry. We also have a reward system for you. If you do prudent financial management, you go through our levels. We also give you back cashbacks, etc. You can see your bank balance. And the balance and the statements is very unique because it shows not only the financial transactions, but it also shows the stars that are actually available and that you have scored. So for example, the Wakanda team has actually gotten 85 stars. And at each point in time, they get those sort of reward systems in place. And so all the groups as well, this particular one, Nyamachoma Sacco, got a reward of 1,600 cashback straight into their account based on the contributions that they've made on this particular account. And you get, the emoji coming up and saying Hapo Sawa. Yeah? Level 1 is complete. And it's the beginning of a great friendship. So you can see every single step of the way, MKey engages you in your financial journey, ensuring that you actually are able to, manage your money more prudently. Now, let's stop the financial side of things. I think we've talked considerably about financial services. We also have an area called Jibambe, which means you can buy on MKey. So this is part of the lifestyle side of things. So we have loaded it with phones, computers, and outfits, and so much more. So taking a journey that you're able to put money into the app, you're able to get loans, you're able to create groups, and then now you want to spend that money. So we have created almost an e-commerce platform that you can actually be able to go and shop within the app. You do not have to go to a secondary app outside to shop. So there's no need for all the other, shopping experiences that exist right now. You can go in, select the shop icon, and as soon as you select the shop icon, it goes to the back-end processes of looking for, all the categories of products that we currently have. And so you can see there are phones, there are electronics, there's clothing, there's shoes, there's so much that you can do with it, all from the comfort of your app. So once you go there, assuming Marvin wants to select a gift, and so Marvin looks at it and says, I may want to select a phone ring. And as soon as he selects the phone ring, it goes to the back-end system, it loads it, and gives you an even more better view of the product that you're looking for. So and shows you different views of a phone ring. And so he says, okay, let me see what price it is. And it's $299. And says, great, okay, I'd like to buy it. And just there, you can see at the bottom of the page, there's add to cart, and there's buy now. So once you select buy now, immediately it shows you the checkout option. Now, these goods and services that you'll buy on our shop will be delivered right to your doorstep. So you do not have to worry about receiving it. It'll provide you a tracker number every single step of the way, from your order to delivery. You'll be receiving email updates of where your product is. And so just within the app, you can be able to purchase anything that you want. Finally, on Jibambe, we have something called news, weather, sports, business, and YouTube. So still within the same super app, if I may call it that, you're able to see your news and services. And it's as simple as just clicking the news item. Now, many of you who are like me struggle in the mornings because you want to go to, let's say, BBC, CNN, Nation, Business Daily, etc., trying to aggregate all the news that's happening around the world. So you have to visit at least 10 different websites to get the information. So what the news site does is that it goes and fetches all your favorite type of news and aggregates them for you onto the app. So you can actually just quickly scroll the headlines, and the ones that you're interested in, you tap the button, and it'll take you to that particular website that you wanted. So if you liked, let's say, the story of, over the weekend, a Kenyan runner who won, once you tap it, it'll take you to the website of that particular news item. So you're able to track your news, in a very simple and easy way. But that is just the app. And that's a lot of things. But let's talk about the interesting part, which is the keyboard. Now, this is really something that all of us in FinServe are really passionate about because we think it's really different. And it's something that we've really spent a lot of time and a lot of engineering effort on it and a lot of sleepless nights. So we designed and engineered a keyboard that has the end user in mind. What do we mean by this? So if you look at the MKey keyboard, once you install, you'll notice it has something at the top. It has an MKey logo. It has something in between there. I'll get to it. And it has a final icon on the right-hand side. Your left. So the MKey keyboard is an expression of who we are. We decided, let's make the keyboard ours. And when I say ours, I mean, Kenya. I mean Africa. Personalize it the way we like things to be done. And so we made sure that you're able to even get loans on your keyboard. Can you imagine that? Getting a loan on your keyboard. So don't believe me. Let's look at this particular demo. So this guy has to pay his pay bill. I mean, his GoTV. And immediately as he's chatting with someone, I really can't pronounce some of those words there, but it's something on the lines of, and I won't try. So he's asked to pay his GoTV bill. And immediately he clicks on the MKey logo, and his keyboard lights up. And he selects, okay, I don't have money right now, let me get a loan. So he selects a loan, and he sees his limit, and then he says, okay, great. I'm able to now borrow from my loan limit. And instantly, the whole system now starts looking at the back-end system to see if he can actually process the, if he can actually process the loan. I'll take that again. It's very important that you get this. And AI. Okay. Okay, I think it's on this side. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So when you go to your keyboard, you can actually be able to fetch a loan straight away. And as soon as you're able to do so, you can go and select your pay bills right from your keyboard, and then you're able to pay your DSTV or your GoTV straight away from your keyboard. I'd advise you to go and download it right now and try it and actually get a loan and pay for your DSTV straight away. Now, Anne, I think we can go to the next slide, which is, as Africans, we are pretty expressive. So that's the financial side. I mean, we've gone through a whole lot of range on the keyboard on the financial side. But let's talk about the social side, because we've talked about lifestyle, we've talked about financial. Now let's talk about the actual social part of it. Now, as Africans, we tend to be very, very expressive. It's in the way we dress, right? Full color. It's in the way we do our hair, and I can see some hair here as well, you know, looking very nice. It's in the way we move. So let's take a look at how we move.
Hey, what's up, Nana?
Someone is calling you. Peasant day call your phone.
Hello? Hello?
And that's just typically how we do it. Sometimes we even forget to pick up the phone. You know, we have to first get our groove on. Okay, I'm not going to try because I may end up being called Theresa May. So, so I won't try. So, as Africans, you know, we are very expressive in everything we do. And it's also in the way we communicate. Now, you know, all of us in the room, you know, and whether you're black, brown, white, red, yellow, the fact that you're here, you're all African, man, I have to tell you that. And so there's no way we'll point this way, right? When you're pointing, you have to point like this. That is the way we point in Africa. We don't point this way. And the truth is, you know, the way they built the emojis, they really do not, we can't relate to them. You know, there's king, there's, you know, there's the Queen's Guard there. I mean, if you're getting arrested by the police, there's no way you can put the Queen's Guard there. I've been arrested by the Queen's Guard. You know, it's difficult to relate to some of these things. And so we introduced something called Yetumoji. Emojis and stickers and GIFs for us, by us. Come on, guys. And we call them Yetumojis. So, with Yetumojis, you have the capability of coming up with anything you want. You know, reggae. You know, you have that hairstyle. I don't know what it's called. You have them all available. And they are local expressions, such as, that is available. Okay, I don't guarantee the sound will come out, but at least someone will get what you're saying. And things like, you know, NKT, you know, it is there. It is ours. our emojis. That is our keyboard. It belongs to all of us. But we also went a step further, and you said, great, these yetumojis are fantastic, but we want to do more with them. So what did we do? We went further and came up with gifts. So, I can't deal, and then there is Mimi, Sangapi, Power Girl, Big G. So we came up, Wakanda Boys Forever. So we came up with all the things that we want to express when we're talking to each other on social media that we cannot get from a keyboard anywhere else. We all built it into our keyboard. And so this expression of African, or the way we do our thing is what we have built into the app. The keyboard. But wait, there's one more thing we did. Just like our clothes, they are actually very, very colorful. We decided to take it a step further. We actually came back with something called keyboard themes. So you can actually come up with your own keyboard themes and of all sorts of things. So your keyboard, you see there it looks right now boring gray, black, or black and white. We have built all sorts of themes for you. Whether it's the Kenyan flag, whether it's Maasai's, whether it's the landscape of Nairobi, whether if you're a Christian, there's the crucifix. Whether you're a Muslim, there's something there for you. Whether you're Hindu, there's always something that you want to express or you want to see as you're typing. And so we have customized themes for your keyboard. So all this we have inbuilt into one single keyboard. Financial services, from getting loans to paying bills, to sending money to M-Pesa, to Equitel, to Airtel, to Telcom, to including things such as pay bills, to easy pay merchants. You have it all on your keyboard. And then moving again, you're able now to go to YouTube straight from your keyboard. You're able to download themes for your keyboard to customize it how you'd like it to be. That is what the power of this whole keyboard has done. And you can imagine how many hours it has been spent by the engineering team who are sitting at the back, just trying to make sure that all these things fit together and are packed into a single keyboard, that small, 2 by 3 inch real estate on your phone, so that we pack it with a lot of utilities for you. That is the power of what the engineering and the design teams have done at FinServe. So, looking ahead, what do we see the future holding? So, just to allay fears in terms of security and privacy, I know Charles Wanyweke is here, who's the head of security. We have embedded all the security that PCI, DSS, and card industries reinforce for any financial transactions. Because at the back end, our sister organizations who are powering the financial services will not let something that goes out that compromises the security of a financial institution, both from a card acquiring perspective, from a bank perspective. So we have embedded PCI DSS, ISO 27001, right into the fabric of the keyboard and the apps. We have also tried to conform, because we are aware that we have people who would use this app from all over the world. So we have to conform to the standards that are set globally. And so we have conformed to GDPR and PSD2. If some of you don't know what this means, please see Charles Wanyweke. It's hard for me to explain within this period of time. Charles, please stand up and wave. So that people, there you go, Charles. Yeah. But at the same time, we have a GSOC that operates 24/7, making sure that your app and your application and all your financial transactions are safe. A GSOC simply means a Global Security Operations Center, and has a follow the sun model, such that if it's daytime in Kenya, then they're in London and they're monitoring what's happening here. If we go to sleep in Kenya, then the US takes over, and so forth. And so moving on, MKey is an open platform, just closing it together. And we shall continue to partner with banks, with telcos, and financial service providers, as well as fintechs who have good ideas for us to enrich this particular keyboard and application, who have certain widgets they'd like us to plug into it. So we are open to partner with everybody. It's not a closed system. If you're in insurance and you want to bring in insurance products to the keyboard, you're more than welcome. If you are running a business for groceries and you want to bring groceries to the keyboard, you're always welcome to integrate to us, and let's push the product. So it's an 100% open financial services platform. And so, looking ahead still, MKey also runs 100% on cloud. So we have no brick and mortar installations. So that means we have rapid deployment and minimal setup. So our ambition using Jenga APIs and Jenga payment gateways, which if I tie back, if you remember our launch 2 weeks ago, these are some of the capabilities you also can build, like the MKey keyboard, if you take advantage of the Jenga payment gateway and the Jenga APIs. Because this whole app was built exclusively, almost exclusively, using APIs. So it's 100% open. And you can see the people we are working with. Microsoft on the cloud side, MFS, Visa, MasterCard, Equity Bank, Kilimall, Fiber and Telcom. So we have partners who are, you'd say, leaders in what they do, partnering with us already. So, what does our roadmap look like? So we have talked about what we have right now. But believe me, we have a backlog, I think, that is about, 700 features waiting. So we have lots of things still waiting to deploy. But the first thing we want to release is diaspora remittances. Using World Remit and Jenga APIs. Is the CEO of World Remit here? Come say hi. So this is the CEO of World Remit. They're the largest remittance business in the world. And so he's visiting us, and so he's one of the first, actually, services that we are going to have on MKey for international or cross-border remittances. Gonna say hi?
Glad to be here, and I'm actually looking forward to getting that keyboard customized for the Africans. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. So that you will have it in September. So this year, cross-border remittances on the keyboard and the app will be available in September. iOS, I know some of you here are looking at me, and yeah, I can see you. Starting with Dr. Mwangi. So you'll have it by November 2018, because engineering team is actually working hard on it. It's such a closed system, and they're actually quite rigorous in ensuring that we actually make sure that we have a good way of running it. So that's available in November 2018. Then the exciting feature that we are looking forward to is build your own emoji. So can you imagine? Yeah. Yeah. That group there is not really feeling our emojis. I'm not sure. So build your own emoji will be available in January 2019, at least by the first week of January 2019. So you'll be able to take a photo of yourself and customize it, and it'll automatically build an emoji for you. So we are working with things such as Google AI recognition, the Microsoft Azure image recognition services, using artificial intelligence to be able to build some of these services. So we're really working hard with them to actually be able, when you take a photo, it generates an equivalent emoji for you. And then you can actually now put many things on it. You can say, all expressions that you want and post it online or post it by our keyboard. But even more exciting for us is that we hope to expand this to all African countries. Now, this is a very conservative feature. I mean, a conservative projection by us. We want to be in 8 African countries by end of next year. But we actually think it's going to be probably sooner, because everything is available on cloud, and we just need to build the right partnerships in the right countries, and we're good to go. Either via financial services through fintechs, banks, etc., or even natively just going in and deploying the social aspects of it, because the engineering has been done. So we actually see probably more than 8 countries by December 2019. So my last slide is how I ended with last time when we were doing Jenga APIs and Jenga Payment Gateway. If you're an artist, a designer, a developer, or anything in between, we are coming up with something called the MKey Marketplace, where you can create your own widgets for the app and for the keyboard. So you come up with it, and if people like it, they install it onto their keyboard. If they don't like it, they can uninstall. So we are actually building this marketplace for all innovators. Designers, if you have concepts that you'd like to have your own MKey, let's say Yetumoji. So King Kaka, if you want to build your own Yetumoji, get a designer to do it for you, put it on the marketplace, and you can even monetize it. Your fans can actually purchase it for a certain amount and install it onto their keyboard. So we are encouraging you, organizations, Anuj, for Tcash. If you want to have, your followers to have a Yetumoji for Tcash, by all means, install it on the marketplace. And your followers can actually be able to use it. So we are trying to look for ways for young people to actually monetize their skills so that they can actually make more money off what they do. So we're actually installing this by end of this week. The marketplace will be up. And that is it for us. Please download it now. Thank you. Makbul.
Thank you. I think Mr. Ngare deserves a better applause than that. An amazing, amazing, amazing one that is. Fantastic presentation. Remember, hashtag make more possible, hashtag MKey. And at first, in this side of the country, we are happy to have it. And it fits perfectly. I can't wait to make my own emoji. Finally, someone got it right, my receding hair challenge. I can be well represented. But how does it fit in your life? I just like walk around and ask. Just quickly, sir, what's your name?
My name is Tony Jiguna.
How does it fit in your lifestyle?
There's a lot to fit in here. This one might made me resign from my work in 2 years.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jiguna, thank you so very much. How does it fit in your... Calligraph Jones is in the house. A round of applause for Mr. Calligraph Jones. How does it fit in your lifestyle?